Have you heard the phrase self-sabotage? Think about it. Even if you haven't, maybe you can relate to the idea of making bad decisions over and over and over again with food, relationships, your career. Our next guest recently co-authored a book entitled A New Fearless You, Freedom from Hide and Seek and Other Games Grown-Ups Play. Please welcome, if you would, author Evonne Weinhaus. Evonne, so nice to have you here this morning. Happy Thursday and sunshine and low humidity and all of that to you. You have a fascinating and bizarre story, and I would appreciate it if you'd share that with everybody in just a moment. But before we get to that, let's define self-sabotage. What is it?
Self-sabotage is when we are not aware that fear is driving our behavior. Like you were talking before about, I think, a diet. A
little bit of this action, my relationship with food, as it were.
So when you self-sabotage, usually what's happening is your goals and behavior aren't in sync. So you may talk a good game about going on a diet, but it could be you're eating ice cream every night. Then more than likely, you're self-sabotaging yourself and playing hide and seek.
And that is born of fear somehow?
Well, what we don't realize that fear is the culprit behind it. And so what we do is we hide from the fear. And the best way to hide, do you know what the best way to hide is?
I don't.
It's to seek its opposite. So not that Carol would understand this, but like a lot of women hide, men too, from old age. So what do they seek?
Okay.
It's opposite. Youth.
That makes a great deal of sense all of a sudden. And at the same time, I can completely see how you don't realize at a conscious level that that's what you're doing. Now, people wonder, what does this woman know about fear? Why is she an expert on fear? Tell me what happened, gosh, what, 20 years ago now, 10 years ago now, that changed your life in a really dramatic way?
Well, I was vain, and I could not see to put my eyeliner on. So I went to the eye doctor thinking it was no big deal.
Sure.
And he told me that if I didn't get it taken care of, that I would go blind. He definitely got my attention, and I found out that I had a brain tumor that, unbeknownst to me, had blocked me from feelings. So I thought I was fearless. What did I know?
You thought, while all these other people around you in your life were having difficulty coping with their emotions, you thought, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
When in reality, there was this chunk of matter in your head that in a physical way was blocking you from feeling those emotions at all. Oh my gosh, I got so excited I knocked the book right off the stand. I'm so sorry. But that's an amazing story. So this tumor, I suppose, grew with time.
Yes.
Which means as a child, you did feel fear, as most children do.
I felt a lot of fear, and I thought I had overcome it. When women went through midlife changes, I just thought I was cool because I just didn't experience
no sweat.
it. Right.
But then you have the tumor.
Literally.
Yeah, right. Then you have the tumor removed, as of course you medically have to. And what happens?
I was overcome with emotions. So if you breathed on me wrong, I'd start crying. And I really didn't know how to handle it. And one day I was journaling because, you see, I thought afterwards I'd share my story. I mean, who could do it better? You know, I had this life-threatening illness, and I wasn't. And what I realized was that I was scared that people would think I was stupid. I mean, after all, I had brain surgery, and did I have permanent brain damage? Once I realized that, I literally went, oh, that's what's going on. Fear's driving my behavior. Not quite said like that, but at least I understood why my behavior was so different than what I wanted to do.
Very, very interesting story, because you think of someone who writes a book on fear and you think they had it, maybe in middle age, and overcame it. You were quite the opposite. You had a physical block to it and then suddenly had to deal with it. It's fascinating. Thank you very much, Evonne, for being here. We appreciate it. Check out her book. She's actually co-authored 2 other books prior to this one, too. Check them out. Seek them out.